Well, it's Friday night down at the local, and they're having a dance. And everyone's hoping they'll find a little romance. But he was a shy boy who sat in the corner alone. When she wandered up, he was about to go home.
Tony Smith is a genuine Aussie, tries his hand at everything, but you're not new to this music caper, Tony Smith.
Not new, no. I've been in the music industry for a few years. The whole family's a little bit musical, so we grew up with music in the family. So yeah, it's been a long time.
I love the description of writing this song. You were driving somewhere in Western Australia, and the whole thought of Dance On came to you. Tell us a little bit about that.
I was driving a road train between Newman and Cape Preston, delivering some mining gear, and probably 2 or 3 hours into the trip, and it was about an 8-hour trip, and this little verse just popped into my head. They danced off into their lives, and it sort of rattled around there for a while. I thought, I'm going to have to write a song about this because it's not going to go away. So I thought hard about it for the rest of the trip, and when I got back to the Donga, Yandy, I sat down and wrote the song. So it was pretty easy because I just related it back to my life when I met my wife in the Royal Hotel in Wentworth, right through to when my granddad passed away and Grandma followed about 6 months later with a broken heart. So it sort of all filled itself in.
It's lovely that you've got that time available that you can sing those through while you're driving and then have access to sitting down and writing it. But are there times where you just want to sit back and listen to other people's music, or is this your alone time?
When I'm working in a machine, or at the moment we manage a caravan park, but the last 14 years I've been fly out miners, sitting in a machine up to 12 hours a day. I'm a solitary thinker sort of thing. I don't like to have the radio on. I like to listen to the machine work in case something's happening, but a few hours into the shift, I'll turn the radio on, and we used to do night shift a lot, so Felicity in the Saturday Night Country was a fantastic one to listen to. So the music was not on until I actually felt like I'd thought long and hard about things, and then I'd listen to the music.
The song Dance On, it's absolutely beautiful, and it takes me personally. As soon as you start talking about it, all I see is an old dance hall taking me back 30, 40 years when everything seemed to be innocent. Is that something that was in the background as well?
It was, Trace, because back in those days, when people met and they had a relationship, they went through the good and the bad and they stayed together, you know. These days, you find, the relationship's a bit more disposable. But back in those days, if you met someone at a dance when you were 19 years old and you fell in love and you got married, you were generally still together when you were 70 years old. So, yeah, it was well into that sort of thought.
If there was someone that you had the opportunity to sit down and write some songs with, who would that be?
I'd be John Williamson. I love John Williamson's way he writes a song, and when you listen to his lyrics, it paints a picture in the head, and that's what I try to do, sing a song so you can, like you said, Trace, you can see it happening as you're listening to the song.
So you would consider yourself more of a storyteller than a musician?
Oh yeah, I would be. I can play the guitar to get myself out of trouble, but I'm definitely not a muso. When you have a listen to the guys that Simon's got on the album there, and those people just make an instrument speak, I'm more of a singer-songwriter, I definitely would say.
Clearly, you would rather be sitting in, say, as songwriters in the round and telling your stories through your song, maybe acoustically. What is it for you when you have the full band behind you? What's the difference for you?
It's funny because when I write a song and I play it so many times by myself, to get it right and maybe perform it around the campfire a few times. The first time I play it with a band, I forget the words because I'm listening to the instruments and how these guys fill in the little bits and pieces, and I'll think to myself, that sounds fantastic with a mandolin in it, and then all of a sudden, where was I in that song? They really make a song come alive. Yeah, it's great.
Well, Tony, we're going to have all of your links posted at the bottom of this podcast, and we're hoping for an album in 2021.
2021, Simon Johnson Showcase in Tamworth. That's where we're releasing the Stir the Embers album. But we'll have a couple more releases during the year, hopefully off the album as well. So definitely 2021, you'll have the Stir the Embers album. So that'll be awesome. We're looking forward to that.
Well, looking forward to catching up with you in Tamworth. Tony Smith, we look forward to seeing you soon.
And they danced off into the night like a couple of lovesick fools, and nothing could tear them apart. And they didn't care what the room had to say. They danced on into the night.